3 benefits of being a weird leader. Many people believe that as a leader they have to display professionalism at all times. But the truth is, it's perfectly acceptable and even encouraged to be weird. Here are 3 benefits. You encourage employees to be themselves. When you're building your team, you may find that some of your new hires are nervous about meeting everyone. The best way to get them to open up is to share an embarrassing story about yourself during a company-wide meeting. This will make them laugh, which will help them relax and let their guard down. When they see that their leader is down to earth, they are more likely to be themselves. Unfortunately, many times leaders believe they must be stern and display themselves as the picture of perfection 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They believe that this is the best way to get respect. However, the truth is, this is one of the worst things you can do as a leader. You must be able to be honest with your team about your weaknesses, because this is the best way to improve your own credibility and get them to respect you. 5 active steps to build confidence and be yourself. Building confidence is more about belief than ability. After all, a healthy sense of belief in yourself can improve your confidence more than anything else. Honestly, belief and confidence are a lot like the chicken and the egg. They're linked, and it really doesn't matter which comes first because they're both critical for the existence of the other. When we're working to build our confidence, we must believe. In order to believe, we must have confidence that our beliefs are correct. In this presentation, we'll provide you with 5 steps to build confidence and be yourself. Draft a strong personal belief statement. This can completely change things. Your belief statement needs to concentrate on your beliefs as well as remind you of what you're capable of. You need to feel both good and empowered when you speak your belief statement out loud. Take 10 minutes to jot down some of the challenges you've faced and the themes that keep coming up in your life. Next, take 10 minutes to generate potential belief statements that claim your ability to overcome them. Now, spend 5 to 10 minutes speaking the statements you've written. Finally, choose the one that evokes positive emotion/confidence in you. Once you've established your personal belief statement, memorize it. When you frequently recite your belief statement, you lay the foundation for building long-term confidence. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice confidence, the stronger your confidence will be. You already know of things that you're good at and capable of. This can help boost your confidence, especially when it provides proof that you can do anything. When you accomplish something, it's a chance to practice confidence, and expressing that confidence out loud, whether to yourself or others, can truly transform your whole belief system. Your confidence is like a muscle. It must be strengthened. If you don't use it, you lose it. That is, if you don't strengthen your confidence, you won't stand a chance when faced with disappointment. Invite confident/competent people into your life. You reflect your environment and those you spend time with. Therefore, you need to make sure to invite confident/competent people into your life. These people will model behaviors that benefit your growth. When you watch others exhibit their confidence, even when faced with challenges, it will strengthen your belief and confidence in yourself. Their presence in your life will prove that you can be confident even when faced with struggles. Plus, it reminds you that you're not alone, which is the best feedback you'll ever find. Track your wins. Your inner critic can get aggressive and loud when self-doubt rears its ugly head. This can end up compounding into an assault on your beliefs, which can make it difficult to build your confidence. Unfortunately, it seems to be easier to remember what went wrong, but not always easy to remember what went right. However, if we keep a record of our wins, we can refer back to them as a reminder of our accomplishments, bravery, and capabilities. They will help you reconnect with and exercise your confidence muscle. Trust that there's something greater. This trust allows you to experience a deeper faith which will lead to confidence. When you trust that there's something greater and a reason for everything, you can tap into a sense of acceptance when things go crazy. This will naturally help you anchor your confidence, making it easier to get out of your comfort zone. Conclusion. In order to achieve your goals, you need to build your confidence. Unfortunately, many people experience anxiety with this process. What we believe about ourselves will have an effect on our confidence. After all, if you don't believe you can achieve something, then you won't. While this may sound really simple, it's not. If you believe in yourself and that belief is rooted in trust, there's not much that will shake your confidence. These 5 active steps will help you build confidence and be yourself. 5 tasks to help you understand your weirdness. If you really stop and think about it, there's no one that has been successful that is 100% normal. Plus, it takes guts to be weird and use it to your advantage. As a general rule, weirdos are made fun of, ignored, referred to as crazy, and are often loners. If you've ever been called weird, don't fret too much over it. The truth is, it's probably a good thing. You must learn to use your uniqueness to your advantage. You need a strong sense of confidence to let your weirdness show, because people are mean. They're going to criticize you, make fun of you, and even laugh at you. In this presentation, we'll take a look at 5 tasks that can help you understand your weirdness and learn to use it to your advantage. 5 tasks to understand and use your weirdness. Don't confuse weird with jerk. The title of weird is not the same thing as being a jerk, therefore don't use it in that way. Be weird, but don't be rude about it. Stand up for your uniqueness. The truth is, it's hard to be weird. Chances are you've learned by now that many people have difficulty accepting anyone who is different than they are. People are going to do whatever they can to make you normal. They may physically beat you up, or they may tease or ignore you until you comply. Sure, being weird is hard sometimes, but if you own it and don't back down no matter what, those in your life will learn to love you for it. Don't shy away or try to hide. Unfortunately, many times people get into situations and their weird starts to show, and instead of letting it happen, they bury it as quickly as they can before anyone else catches a glimpse of it. The truth is, weird is part of who you are, whether you like it or not. If you attempt to hold it in, you're not being true to who you are, which is the worst thing you can do. You're special because of your weirdness, and if you nurture it, it'll grow and you'll be able to use it to your advantage. Prepare for a different lifestyle. One thing you must keep in mind when you're weird is that your lifestyle is going to be completely different from that of anyone else. You may decide that you want to move into a hut and become a painter. Then again, maybe you want to investigate paranormal activities. Most people are not going to understand you, and the hard part is, some of those people will be those that you love deeply. However, no matter what, you must always be true to who you are. This is your life, and you only get to live it once. You must do whatever makes you happy. It's fine if you need to be selfish and never look back. Stop caring. This is one of the hardest things you'll have to do, and truthfully, no one ever completely masters it. However, the less you care, the more your weirdness will thrive, which means your happiness will increase because you're being true to yourself. Of course, some people change based on their environment. You may have to tone down your weirdness in certain situations, as some people may get overwhelmed with you. Ultimately, you must be true to who you are. Avoid those who don't support you as much as possible. Conclusion. If you really think about it, most of the really successful people in the world have a bit of weirdness in their personality. Sure, it takes guts to be weird. As a general rule, weird people are shunned. However, the truth is, you must learn how to understand your weirdness and use it to your advantage. 5 tips for getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. As humans, we believe that stress is a bad word. We do whatever we can possibly do to avoid it. However, the truth is, sometimes stress can be beneficial because it gets us out of our comfort zone, which can launch us into success. One of the worst things you can do to your career, or even to your life, is to remain too long in your comfort zone. Unfortunately, when you don't get uncomfortable, you don't grow. If you don't grow, you get stagnant, which is never a good thing. If you ever want to reach your true potential, you need to experience a bit of stress and discomfort. In this presentation, we'll give you 5 tips for getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. Remove frustration from your vocabulary. Over the past few years, one of the primary leadership buzzwords has been resiliency. which of course has different meanings for different people. However, for most people, this term means to be as strong as possible by being adaptable when things change and removing the word frustration from your vocabulary. The emotion of frustration is a man-made one that can be eliminated once you understand and acknowledge that every problem does have a solution. As a strong, resilient leader, you must learn to break down the problem into the smallest possible components to find the solution. This will help you become stronger and more resilient and eliminate frustration. Focus on short-term resolutions / small wins. The next tip for becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable is to leverage small wins and short-term resolutions. This means that you must be taking each day as it comes, focusing only on what is under your control, and then find the places where you can have small wins and only need short-term resolutions. The small wins not only build your own confidence, but can also help to build the confidence of your team. Then, as you begin to connect your short-term wins to create long-term wins, your confidence will increase and you'll become more comfortable with the uncomfortable. Follow your intuition. When you're feeling uncertain and uncomfortable, you'll only increase your discomfort if you start to overanalyze and/or overthink the situation. One of the best things to do is to trust your own intuition and feel confident that even if you do make a mistake, it'll be easy to fix. Find ways to proactively innovate. When you react to what's going on around you, the chances that you will feel uncomfortable are increased. However, you can take action by evaluating the situation and challenging the situation at hand. When you are the one that is driving the situations in your world instead of reacting to them, you will be much more comfortable with being uncomfortable. One of the ways that you can do this is to find ways that you can innovate the current situation. Unlearn and relearn new things. One of the main reasons why people are uncomfortable as a leader is that they're stuck in their old ways of thinking. When you can unlearn some of these old thought processes, you'll be a lot more comfortable with being uncomfortable. Conclusion. As humans, we often do whatever we can to remain in our comfort zone. We don't want to be uncomfortable. However, if you never get uncomfortable, you will never grow, which means you'll be stuck for a very long time. On the other hand, if you can implement some of these 5 tips for getting comfortable in the uncomfortable, you'll see growth like you've never seen before.